Hi friends, hello. It is Monday, January, what day is it? January 11th, and we are kicking this off. So welcome to Push to Promotion, you guys. Hi everybody, let me pull up my notes and get started. Let's see here. All right, I'm good to go. I got my notes, I got my Trello board, everything's up and ready to go. Hi everybody, if you're on, say hey. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. Welcome to Push to Promotion. I'm so excited for this. I'm just going to take like 2 seconds to wait for everyone to hop on, and then I'll get started. Your time is valuable. I'm not going to be on here forever. I'm not going to jabber if I don't need to. So, hi everybody. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited. This is exactly what we need right now, and I'm so excited to dig into this with you all these next few weeks and do this dang thing. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. All right. Let me pull it together a little bit. I'm just really excited. Like, this is what Scentsy's about, right? You all coming together as a community to grow and learn. It's really what it's about. So, hey everybody, hi. Okay, all right. Let me get started. All right. Really quick, let me just kind of go over this Push to Promotion really fast. Okay, so it is a 9-week program. Each week is gonna have guest speakers go live about a certain topic, okay? I am not going to tell you guys who the guest speakers are going to be. I want you all to show up to learn and grow and to learn about specific topics. I don't want you guys to just show up because a certain leader is going to be on, okay? Because you never know. You could be listening to a leader forever and not realize that you could relate to another leader even more, but you just didn't give them a chance because of their name, right? So I told the people that are going to go live that they can tell you all the day of when they're going to go live, but I'm not going to tell you all advance on who we got speaking, but we got some awesome guest speakers coming up this next few weeks, you guys. So I'm super excited. So the day of, you might see people post to say, hey, I'm going to go live in this time. So you'll know, oh, that person's going to go live, but I'm not going to make like a weekly thing of in advance to tell people when they're going to go live. Each week's going to have trainings on different speakers. I don't think there's more than 4 speakers a week for 1 week. I think the 1 week we have like 4 speakers is like the most speakers we have. And then that every Monday of the week, we're going to post a challenge. It's not a homework. We're not your bosses. We're your mentors. It's a challenge. It's up to you if you want to do it or not, okay? You will grow if you do these challenges. It is inevitable that you're going to grow if you do these challenges. I recommend that you do every challenge the week that we do them. And you guys, the reason why we set this course up the way that we have is because it is set up to get you to be as successful as possible for the fall coming up. We're about to have the most amazing fall ever. We're about to have an epic fall. So if you guys stick around for this training, for this Push for Promotion, if you stick around all these next weeks, you're really going to benefit from it because we've strategically set this up to make it to where you are the most successful you can be for this fall. So who's ready to freaking promote this fall? Who's ready to get this going? I'm so excited. Okay. All right. My husband has my 11-week-old, it's technically our 11-week-old child, but I had her. He has her at the store, so no one's going to interrupt me unless my dogs bark, but they're easy to take care of. So Matthew has my 11-week-old baby at the store with him. They're going grocery shopping so that I can do this video, so let's do it. All right. Okay, so, oh, and hi. Hey guys, my name's Mallory Thompson. Hi. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Superstar director. Been with Scentsy since 2017. I am 28 years old, about to be 29. And, oh, you have a 7-week-old. And I have an 11-week-old baby girl, our first child. So, and I'm a stay-at-home Scentsy consultant and a stay-at-home mom. So, yeah. All right. Hi. All right, guys. We're talking about branding and authenticity this week. And I am so excited to talk about this, you all. I am so excited to talk about branding and authenticity. Because I personally, and this is from my perspective, but I personally feel like branding and authenticity get looked past a lot. I feel like they kind of get looked over. And I feel like when people talk about branding and authenticity, I feel like a lot of times when people talk about it, they use these big umbrella statements, like these big blanket statements, and they don't ever give you like specifics on branding or authenticity. I feel like they're just very vaguely talked about, and that, again, is my perception. But I just feel like they're very vaguely talked about, and I'm really excited to like dig into specifics on them. Now, if you don't know, one of Scentsy's core values, Scentsy has 3 core values. That is authenticity, simplicity, and generosity. And I feel like I personally hear a lot about simplicity and a lot about generosity, but I don't hear a whole lot about authenticity. I know not everybody will agree with me with that. Again, that's my perception, but I feel like authenticity can be talked about more, okay? So I'm really excited to dig into this. Hi guys, hi everybody. I'm reading your comments. I can read comments and do live at the same time. So if you have any questions, just let me know. So I like to start off things with a definition. So authenticity, the definition of authenticity is of undisputed origin, genuine. So authenticity just means undisputed origin, genuine. Your genuine, original self. Authenticity can show up in a person, place, or thing. So authenticity is just untouched from the outside world, okay? Your genuine self is, we're talking about authenticity as a personal thing, so I'm going to talk about it as like a personal thing, okay? And then branding is promoting a product or company with advertising and distinct images, which that one's kind of obvious, but I just want to tell you all the definition of authenticity and branding. Okay, so branding and authenticity go hand in hand a lot. They are a hand in hand. You cannot have a brand without authenticity, a good brand without authenticity. And you can't have authenticity without good branding. It goes hand in hand. I think that they go hand in hand together. Yes, I am a hand talker. I am not Italian, but I talk with my hands. I don't know why, but I talk with my hands. You cannot have authenticity and branding without the other one, okay? So I genuinely I really believe, there you go. I really believe that a part of our brand is who we are authentically. So you have to remember that if a part of your brand is who you are authentically, everyone's brand is going to look a little bit different. Your brand is not going to be the same as someone else's because you are not authentically the same as someone else, okay? So keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about branding first. I'll start off with branding and we'll end with authenticity, okay? Okay. Branding does not have to always be physical things like we think it is, okay? Yeah, I got my Wax Boss sweatshirt on that I haven't worn since before I got pregnant. It fits again, kind of. The top fits really good. The bottom doesn't fit as well. But branding doesn't have to always be like physical things. Branding, a lot of the times, are things that you can't see. When I think about branding, especially with like Scentsy in my business, or being a leader, branding a lot of the times is how you show up in this world. It really is how you show up in this world. Who are you as a person? How do you treat others? Are you a positive person? Are you somebody who works hard? Are you somebody who loves other people? Are you someone who cares? Are you empathetic? Are you outgoing? Are you shy? You know, branding a lot of the times is how you show up in this world. It's how we treat others. It really is. How do you treat your customers? Do you make them feel special? Do you make them feel important? How do you treat anybody in this world? Not just your customers. How do you treat everybody in this world? How do you show up in this world? You know, when you think of big names in Scentsy, I'm not going to say specifics, but when you personally think of big names in Scentsy, you know, I bet you the first thing you think of is how they show up in this world. I bet you the first thing you think of is, oh my gosh, she's so nice, or she's so caring, or she shows up all the time, or oh, I just love her trainings, or whatever the case might be. But when you think of other consultants, you think about how they show up in this world and not how you see them. It's how they show up. And you just have to ask yourself when it comes to branding, like, what kind of consultant are you? Are you a consultant that loves the company? Are you a consultant that loves the product? Are you a consultant that shows up, like I said, all the time? Are you a consultant that, you know, will take any kind of obstacle and just like eat it and go? Like, are you that kind of consultant? Or are you a consultant that will bash Scentsy if something goes wrong? Do you complain about Scentsy to your customers? I hope not. Do you complain about Scentsy sometimes? Are you negative sometimes? Do you put negativity out into the world? It's okay if you do. Everybody is capable of changing. Trust me, I used to be a negative Nancy, okay? But you have to think about the kind of person that you show up in this world and who you are and what kind of community that you're building, because that's so important to your brand. It's so important because we're building communities of not only like customers, but if you want to be successful in this business, you're gonna have to build a community of consultants, right? So like, what kind of person do you want to show up as? What kind of energy do you want to give off? or get off, because whatever energy you give off is the energy you're going to get, right? So what do you want to do in this world? Like, what kind of person do you want to be? Branding does not have to be physical, okay? When I think of certain people in this business, I just think of love and light and joy and abundance. And that's because they've branded themselves that way, okay? And it's taken consistency of showing up and actually being that person, but that's how I view them, and that's probably genuinely how they are, right? Like I was talking about, branding with the unphysical things isn't just for consultants, but for leaders as well. And if you want to be successful in this business, you're going to have to be a leader. Teach yourself how to be a leader. None of us know how to be leaders. We teach ourselves. I don't know how to be a leader. I've taught myself. I have a PhD in Google. Okay? So branding is also what kind of leader you want to be. Do you want to be a leader that's like really, in your face, kind of aggressive? Because we know leaders like that, right? And we know leaders that kind of stand in the back and are your cheerleader and stand off and just let you do your own thing, but they love you and support you and cheer you on. Are you the kind of leader that, is in the trenches with everybody, or do you kind of back out a little bit? Are you the kind of leader that like is jumping on every single problem, or are you the kind of leader that kind of like lets people see what they're going to do? There's no right or wrong answer, you guys, but when you show up as that leader, you're branding yourself as that leader. Like I said, there's consultants out there and leaders that make you feel a certain way. They branded themselves like that. Because listen, no matter if you're dealing with customers or your team or anything, remember that quote. You guys have heard this quote before. The quote, people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. You guys have heard that, right? Because I've heard that. And that is so true. That is so true when it comes to branding. Your brand is way more than physical things. It's a feeling. Your brand's a feeling, you guys. Think about it. If you meet someone while wearing a Scentsy shirt and a Scentsy hat and a Scentsy backpack and Scentsy nails, and you give them a sample and you branded that sample with a business card, they will forget that you gave them that or that you talked to them if you don't make them feel valued. If you don't make that person that you give a business card to or a sample to, if you don't make them smile, if you don't make them feel valued, if you don't love them from the start and they don't feel something right away, they're not going to remember you giving them that sample. They might find that sample in their car like 4 months later and be like, oh my gosh, that girl gave me a sample the other day. I'm out of water. But if you made them feel loved and important and appreciated, they're going to remember that sample. They're going to remember you giving them that. So branding can go far when it's physical, but it goes so much farther when it's unphysical things, okay? So I just wanted to talk about that because a lot of people, talk about branding all day long about physical stuff like car decals and all this stuff. That doesn't matter. None of that matters if you don't put a positive impact on this world as a Scentsy consultant. None of that matters, okay? I promise you. You can have a car decal on the back of your car for 3 years. No one's going to text or call that number unless you are putting out into this world what you want to get back, which is whatever that is for you is what that is for you, okay? It doesn't have to be the same as everybody else, okay? So just remember with branding, it's not always, like I said, a physical thing. And, I want my customers to feel valued and loved, and I want them to know, like, think about this, you guys. Think about when someone thinks about Disney. Disney's brand is not just the logos. Disney's brand is a feeling. People feel Disney's brand. People who love Disney can watch a Disney commercial on TV and like feel it in their heart and like cry from a commercial. I could watch Harry Potter like commercials. I could watch Harry Potter. I could hear that song, the Harry Potter theme song that they play when you're approaching the castle. I can hear that in my head and feel something. I feel something when I hear that because Harry Potter's brand is not just the lightning bolt. It's a feeling, right? So think about that next time. You want your customers to feel something, your team to feel something. That's way more than themselves and yourself, okay? So that is branding to me. That's how I see branding as. Now, can you brand yourself physically? Yes, I have brand colors. Anything that you see with my like anything that I print out for Scentsy, like postcards or anything, are gonna have like these brand colors. My brand colors are purple, green, and maroon. So anything that you see from me is gonna have purple, green, and maroon. Like that's just my brand. So yeah, I have brands I have branded stuff that's physical. but it's not all physical. But see, like even my samples have like a little rainbow with my colors, because that's just my brand colors. And you can make a brand color, you can make your brand colors. I do it on Canva. So if you go on Canva, let me just tell you guys real quick. You go on Canva and you do your brand kit. It's your brand kit on Canva. You can actually make a brand kit. And like all my stuff has like those colors, because those are my brand, it's my brand colors. I love the boho rainbows. I love those colors. So anytime I make something or do something, it's in those colors. So like my customers know that that's like my brand, but they also know that my brand is gratitude and love and kindness and everything else in the world. And that brings us actually to authenticity, because if you notice, a lot of what I'm saying about branding has to do with authenticity. A lot of stuff has to do with authenticity. The way I make them feel, the way they make me feel, the way I come off as a human in this world is a lot to do with authenticity too, right? So let's talk about authenticity now, because I don't want to run branding into the ground. All right. Authenticity, simply put, is staying true to who you are, what you do, and who you serve, okay? You thought I was passionate about branding. I am passionate about authenticity. It's something I picked up on really quick in Scentsy. I've only been doing this for 5 years. Now, it's a long time to some people, not any time for some. So I've been doing this for 5 years, and I picked up really quick on authenticity in my first few years. And I really genuinely believe that authenticity it's a core value for a reason, but I genuinely believe that authenticity is one of the reasons why I hit SSD in 2 years. Like, I really do believe it's one of the reasons why I'm so successful is authenticity. And there's a reason why Scentsy chooses its core values, okay? So before I talk about anything else, just remember this. Humans, and I say this all the time. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I say this all the time. Humans are authenticity radars. And you'll hear me say that again. I've said that on other trainings, and you'll hear me say it again in the future if you ever listen to me. We are authenticity radars. We are just always viewing people in a way, we're just looking for authentic humans. I don't know how we do it, but we can tell when someone's just not being their genuine self. Sometimes you just meet people and you're like, wow, like she is just a beautiful energy, like I love her or him, whatever. You know, you can just tell when they're just being their genuine self. And when something feels off, when someone's trying to be something they're not, putting on a front or anything, we can like feel it. We're just like, something's not right. Like something feels off. Like they're just like, they're putting on a front somewhere. I can feel it. And when we as humans get like an ick feeling about somebody, we'll never forget it. I heard it on a TV show once. It's called The Ick, I-C-K, ick. When we get the ick about somebody, like, I don't know. That never goes away. It really doesn't. It might fade, but we will never forget that. So like, don't try to be something you're not. People can read that. They really can. You might think that you're fooling people, but they can read it, okay? Or you can be really good at it and fool people. And that, I think, is called a sociopath. I'm just kidding. But anyways, we can just feel it. We're like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. So don't try to show up in this world as anything else that you're not, okay? Please don't. Please don't, because there's somebody out there that needs you to show up as yourself, as your authentic self. Someone needs you to show up as your core self. They really do. Someone out there is inspired by who you are, exactly who you are, exactly how you are in all the ways. So please do not rob somebody else out there in your team, in your downline, someone random in Scentsy, consultants, customers. No, it doesn't matter. Don't rob them of being inspired, motivated, whatever, by who you really are, because you're trying to be someone you're not. Because when you try to be someone you're not, you're going to rob somebody else, okay? And I promise you that you're going to make a better impact on the person that relates to you than the person that doesn't know if they relate to you or not, okay? So just authenticity is huge, you guys. It ignites human connection. Humans cannot connect with each other without authenticity, okay? Like, we cannot connect to one another without being genuinely authentic and literally getting to know each other to the core, right? So it doesn't matter in this business if you show up perfect. It just matters that you show up, okay? So many people are so busy trying to be something else that they're not and do stuff that's not really who they are and be perfect, and they don't even show up in the first place because they're so busy with trying to make everything so perfect. But if you just showed up in the first place as being genuinely who you are, because none of us are perfect, if you just show up as your imperfect self, you're, for one, showing up, which you weren't when you were trying to be perfect, because no one can be perfect or show up as perfect. So just show up. It doesn't matter if you're perfect. You know what happens? This is what happens too when consultants try to be perfect. I've seen this with my own eyes. People who try to be perfect end up being envied in this business. You don't want to be envied in this business. Why do you want to be envied as a leader or as a consultant? I would rather be loved. I would rather be loved than envied. So when you show up and you try to be perfect and you try to make everything perfect all the time and just picture perfect, no mistakes, nothing, no real rawness, you end up being envied. And envy is not something you want to be on the other side of. When you show up as somebody who is not afraid to say they make mistakes, someone who's not perfect, somebody who learns from things that go wrong, somebody who, just is relatable, you end up being loved and valued and connected to people and a part of a community. But when you get envied, you get exiled from the community. Don't try to be perfect and get yourself envied, because no one wants to be around somebody they envy. They just don't, okay? So just remember that when you're trying to be perfect, you're only doing that for yourself. You're not helping anybody else, okay? I just hate so bad when I see people trying to be so perfect all the time, when perfect is not even real, No one can relate to perfect. Sorry, I kind of got on a tangent there, but stop trying to be perfect all the time, you guys. Stop trying to be the perfect consultant. Stop trying to be the perfect leader. No one is perfect, and you become unrelatable when you're perfect, okay? Why does anybody, and I tell my leaders this too, don't tell your team everything that goes right all the time. It is okay to be a leader that says that things go wrong sometimes. It's okay to be a consultant that says some things go wrong sometimes, whether it's in Scentsy or in life, okay? No one wants to read that everything is perfect for somebody all the time, all right? What do I have in my notes here? Hold on, what is this? Oh, okay, yeah. It's not about what you have, it's what you're a part of, okay? So it's not about what you have or what you can offer, it's about what you're a part of, okay? Yeah, there is a few SSDs that seem to be perfect, and yes, we're like, dang, I wish, but here's the thing. That's just perception, That's just perception. No one's perfect, and keep that in the back of your mind. Oh my God, I love you, Shelby. Just keep that in the back of your mind, okay? It doesn't matter how you show up as long as it's not perfect, which is probably the opposite of what you thought I would tell you to do. You are better, you're stronger, you're more creative, and you're more compelling when you are your true self. You're just all around better. The energy that you emit connects you with the customers and teams that you want, okay? So if you emit the energy that you want to get back, you're going to get that energy back in customers and teammates, okay? But if you're trying to emit perfect energy, you're not going to get anything back, because no one's perfect. So you're never going to get a perfect team or a perfect customer, right? Because no one's perfect. So stop trying to be perfect all the time. It's so unrelatable. I'm so over it. Anyways, yeah. Stop trying to be anything else but the best version of yourself, okay? The best version of yourself is all you can be. Everybody is different, okay? Everybody is different. For example, okay? I am very unmaterialistic. Oh, you're welcome, Tiffany. I'm not very materialistic. I'm very minimalist. I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm not very big on things, okay? And if you are somebody who's big on things, that is fine. Girl, that is authentically you. You are authentically into things. Good for you, girl. You go get that handbag. You go get that new car. You go get that big house. You flaunt that, because that's genuinely who you are. But for me, that's not genuinely who I am. So if I start showing up in this world to people who know me as somebody who is obsessed with material things, they're going to be like, what is she doing? She doesn't care about that kind of stuff. Well, she never used to. Why is she doing that? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, you guys. Figure out who you are. Literally dig into yourself deep. Figure out who you are and show up as that person. But guess what? It doesn't matter if it's the same as somebody else, because it's who you are. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's no right or wrong way to show up, okay? There's really not. If it's authentic, it's the right way to show up, okay? And that's so hard for people to grasp, is you don't have to be a certain way, you just have to be authentic. Because that's the way you should show up, is authentically. Okay? Alright. But, don't use authenticity to continue your bad habits, okay? You can't just be like, oh, I'm messy, because that's just who I am. I'm just messy. Or I'm just unorganized. I don't do systems, because this is who I am. That's just authentically who I am. I don't do systems. No, girl. You can't use authenticity to keep doing the things that are bad habits, right? You can't do that. But what you can do is authentically show up to people and say, look, I might not be the cleanest person in the world. Y'all, my house is dirty, but guess what? I'm gonna clean it, and I'm gonna try to keep it clean. I try so hard, y'all. The only thing that can keep my house clean is Scentsy counter cleaner or whatever. But show up authentically, even if it's not perfect. But that doesn't give you an excuse to say, hey, it's just who I am. It's just, no, we can't use authenticity to keep doing bad habits, but we can use it to show up in this world as someone relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love being lazy, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to work out this week 3 days a week because I owe it to myself. You're being authentic. You really are. You're telling people, look, I have a lazy side, but I'm going to work on it. Okay. So you can't use authenticity to continue bad habits either. Okay. You're not going to turn my word around on me. But anyways, and be authentic, like I'm talking about, being authentic broadly, but like be authentic to your team too. Okay. Like I said earlier, I don't sugarcoat things with my team. If I'm struggling, I'll tell them, because guess what? They're probably struggling too. And no one wants to hear when they're struggling that their leader's just doing everything so good and nothing's going wrong. It's like, okay, cool. Well, I'm struggling and I don't know what to do because my leader just seems to think that everything's perfect. No, that's not going to help your business. Okay. You're not trying to give out godlike mentality to your downline. Okay. Coming into this and becoming a superstar director, I don't want people to think I'm some godlike person to envy. No, I want people to love me and relate to me, because we all have growing to do together, right? So authenticity is so big in your business, guys, but you cannot be anybody else but yourself, okay? You really can't. We're not gonna try to be somebody else that we're not. There's no excuses either. You have to dig deep. I'm done with my notes, so I shut my iPad. Dig deep, you guys, okay? Yes, Karen, and that's how you know how I am, Karen. You know how me and Autumn are, and Shelby. We're not gonna let something be ghosted with smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Missy, I freaking love you. Thank you. You're authentic too, Miss. But guys, authenticity is so huge because no one's gonna relate to you without authenticity. Okay, your customers, your team, nobody. But authenticity really opens the gates to being successful at this business. I really think it does. Because, I'm reading all y'all's comments, sorry. But I just think it's so huge. It's just such a big thing. And out of our core values, hi April, out of our core values, I think that authenticity is one of my favorites. Actually, I love them all. I can't say that they're one of my favorites. I love them all. I try to be all three of them at all times. But listen, guys, show up as yourself, okay? No one wants perfect anymore. Perfect's so outdated, okay? All right? We got to show up and be our authentic human selves, okay? Everybody struggles and everybody does great at the same time, right? So just remember that too. And remember, like, when you're thinking about who you want to show up in this world as, like, you're a human too. We're all humans, okay? We're all humans. And I don't know, you guys. How are you in a sweatshirt? Oh, because I keep my house cold. I mean, I'm inside. We keep the air conditioning going, the fans on. So, but yeah. And I have my sleeves rolled up because I'm kind of nervous. So I got my pits are kind of sweating. So, see, authentic. I'm not going to sit here and say that like I wasn't nervous at all before I got on here, because how is that relatable at all whatsoever? Anyways, guys, I don't know. I really think branding and authenticity are a huge thing for me. And I really feel like the reason why I've been so, I don't know, successful at this business, because I used to tell people when I first joined Scentsy, like, hey guys, I can't afford dog food this month, so I'm gonna start Scentsy. Like, I've just always been super authentic. I've always been like, I don't really like my job. I think I want to quit. Like, I've just been really authentic with people. I really have, since day one, and I think it has a lot to do with like success. And I'll just tell people honestly, like, what I'm doing, honestly, like how I'm working or my goals or whatever the case might be, and it relates to people, saying to people like what you want and how you like what you want in this business is so big, because you're authentically telling people what you want out of this world and out of this life. So just don't forget that who you are is so much different than what someone else is, and that it's okay. That's our superpowers, is that we're all different, right? That's our superpowers. If each person in this group speaking these next few weeks were the exact same, we wouldn't learn anything. None of us would grow if they were all just like me, right? So I just want to let you guys know that you are perfectly capable of being your authentic self. Just dig deep, grow to learn to love yourself. You have to love yourself to be able to show up as your best self too, okay? So don't forget to put that work into yourself so you can figure out who you really are and show up in this world as that person, okay? But yeah, if y'all have any questions at all, just let me know. I really hope this helped. I really do, because these topics aren't really like specific, like tangible things, like not specific Scentsy things. These are more of like what you can do in your personal life. But I think that it relates to people a lot because, you know, your personal life and your Scentsy life go hand in hand, right? So yeah. Miranda, we all struggle with self-love, so you're not alone, but we love you. We really do love you, and we're glad you're here and you showed up for yourself, and you should be proud. Oh, guys, I love you all so much. Seriously, thank you. Like, I have been really trying to be more impactful in this community this year. I really want to make an impact on this community because I love it so much, and it's made such an impact on me that I just want to give back. This group would not be possible without all the leaders that pitched in to help. Shelby and Autumn, Shelby Bowling, Autumn Northcutt, would not be possible without my girls. The Trello board wouldn't be a thing without them. None of this would be possible without people showing up together and, you know, coming together as leaders to train people and to get us through this hump of the summer. Like, it wouldn't be possible without you guys. I really cannot thank you all enough. This group has become so much bigger than what we thought it could be. And it's just so grateful that there's people out there that are wanting to show up and be better Scentsy consultants and better humans. And there's leaders out there that will come together and rally together and get their teams together and do something like this. So I literally almost just got emotional, but I'm going to stop myself from getting emotional. But I love Scentsy. I love this life, and I'm just love you guys, and I'm just so excited to grow and learn these next few weeks and to hear from people, and it's just so great to see what we can accomplish when we all come together and do it as a team. All right, guys, my husband's gonna probably be home soon with the baby, and I gotta let this dog out. She's literally been standing over there staring at me this whole video like, are you gonna let me out? Are you gonna let me out? Are you gonna let me out? So I'm gonna do that. I love you guys. Message me if you need anything. Comment on here if you have any questions. Do not post and ask when someone's going to go live or when the next speaker is. I gave them the option, if they want, they can post the day of that they're going to go live and tell people, or they can just go live. So make sure you have your notification settings on. This group is very chilled and relaxed. I don't want it to be something like you got to show up and you got to do the homework. We're not going to kick you out if you don't do the homework. That's your choice, okay? We're not your teachers, like I said. I just want this to be very chill, come when you can, watch when you can kind of thing. So don't make too much pressure on yourself to show up for the live. Obviously, showing up for the live is going to be the best option to get the best energy possible, but don't feel pressured, okay? Make them when you can and show love and support when you can, okay? And hopefully we can continue to do rounds of this training. Hopefully we can continue, and some of you guys can level up and be speakers in this group one day, all right? I love you guys so much. Yes, you can watch the replays. You can scroll through and watch these videos as many times as you want to throughout these next few weeks, okay? They're not going anywhere. We're not going to delete the videos. Gosh, I love this company. I love this community. I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful. So if you need anything, let me know, and just don't forget that we love you for who you are authentically. We love who you are in this world, and there's no better person out there than who you really are on the inside, okay? So don't forget to show up as that person because we need you. We need you. I love you guys so much.